Total Extreme Wrestling today, our All Elite Wrestling save. Today we are working on getting the Fight for the Fallen pay-per-view booked, ready to go. I'm excited for this one. So, Fight for the Fallen, it's been a while, obviously, since we've done our last stream, so I do apologize for that. Things have been getting in the way, but we are getting to finally book our Fight for the Fallen show. So let's have a bit of a recap of where we're at and what we've been up to in recent times for our Fight for the Fallen pay-per-view. So first of all, let's take a look. We've got obviously Ali and Sheeta. That's what we're working on. Bea Priestley and Priscilla Kelly have been teaming up to take on Kris Statlander. Now I know Bea Priestley's no longer in AEW, so we're going to address that with Jimmy Havoc as well, and Sadie Gibbs, I believe is the other one, or Shanna, or whoever the hell it was. Nonetheless, so we'll address those releases as well, but at the moment we'll still go ahead and do this match, because I think Bea Priestley would probably still be in AEW if she can get there, if she could actually be in the building. Not, you know, the only reason why she's not there is because of travel restrictions. So I suppose that puts this feud in a bit of a question mark as well. So Best Friends versus the Super Bad Death Squad. I mean, I don't really like Jimmy Havoc, so I'm happy to release him. So see you later, Jimmy. So I suppose Best Friends might get a win here. Cody, we're going to have Cody versus Rey Fenix lined up. The Dark Order looks like we're going to do Dark Order versus probably Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. FTR and the Young Bucks, they're picking their own different opponents, so we're going to be doing those matches on the card. So we've got the Sex Gods. Obviously, that's going to be happening as well. The Sex Gods versus Omega and Page, but Kenny Omega is injured, so we're still going to go ahead with this match. It will be a handicap match in the end. MJF, we've got him as well. So MJF's beaten Kazarian. He's beaten Scorpio Sky, so the big one at the end will be him versus Christopher Daniels. And we'll probably have MJF get that win as well. Jon Moxley, Brian Cage, finally we'll see it here in our TW game for the championship. And Matt Hardy and Shawn Spears, they've got a bit of a rivalry brewing. It hasn't really kicked off just yet. We're still kind of getting it together. It shouldn't be too far away. So this is AEW Fight for the Fallen. The card is booked. Let's go ahead and start the show. So first match is Brody Lee, Marco Stunt in the pre-show. Let's take a look how bad this match is. I'm going to say 43. Alright, 43. There you go. Alright, I'm a genius sometimes. Brody Lee and Marco Stunt 43 for their pre-show match. Brody Lee picks up the win in a quick squash. Brody Lee performed at 70. Marco Stunt 25. So Brody Lee actually did good for once. Like, we have been pretty harsh on him. We've said, look, Brody Lee is trash. But in a squash match environment, maybe he thrives. Maybe this is where we need to use him a little bit more. Use him wiser. Alright, next match, we've got Super Bad Death Squad, the Butcher and the Blade teaming up to take on Best Friends and the Natural Nightmares. 8-man tag still on the pre-show. We had Ali in a segment. She cut a promo on Sheeta for her match with her later on tonight. Now the 8-man tag. Some decent teams. I mean, Best Friends is in it, Natural Nightmares. So I'm going to say 51 for this 8-man tag. It's 52. I am getting close. I'm doing well today. 52 for that. We had Best Friends and the Nightmares win. So obviously we will be releasing Jimmy Havoc. So we're just having him lose as much as we can for a little bit. Blade 41. Butcher 31. So Butcher and Blade not so great. Jimmy Havoc 51 and actually was one of the best in the match, sadly. Kip Sabian 44. QT Marshall 41. Dustin Rhodes, Chuck Taylor and Trent all hitting 52. Not bad. We've got Darby Allin and Sheena coming up next. So, not bad. Let's have a look. We had Chris Jericho cut a promo on the pre-show beforehand with the Inner Circle out there with him, talking about Adam Page and Kenny Omega and their match coming up later on tonight. So, we wanted to get Jericho one more little sneaky promo to try and boost that storyline heat if possible, and he did well, of course. 84 is excellent. And Darby Allin and Shima had a 63 rated match. Don't be surprised if that's one of the best matches of the card. Darby Allin 67. He won, of course. Shima 50. That's a lot better match than I expected. I didn't give a prediction, but my prediction would have been about 54, I would say. So that's much better than I would have expected. Sadie Gibbs and Evilise. Good luck to try and predict this one. I'm going to say 26 for this. 40. Oh, wow. Okay. 40. Evilise, 44. Sadie Gibbs, 27. Evilise is pretty good. Well, maybe there is a shining light in our women's division. Evilise picked up the win, of course. 7-minute match. Picking up the 1, 2, 3. And I believe that rounds out... Oh, we got one more segment. So we got a promo. Pillman Jr. cut a promo talking about his future in AEW and how the Lucha Brothers attacked himself and Cody recently on Dynamite. 47 rated segment, so really good stuff for Pillman Jr. And hopefully that'll be enough for him to potentially boost his popularity. That'd be nice. And that's the pre-show rounded out. So our first match on the official card is Rey Fenix and Cody. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping this is one of our best matches on the show. I'm going to go big. I'm going to say 75. I'm going to go big. I'm hoping. I've got big expectations. Cody, don't let me down. Rey Fenix, I feel as though I can hit a 60 plus. Cody, I think, can get close to 80. We'll round it out. Let's try and go a little bit better than the middle. 75. Cody and Phoenix, please. 81! Yes! Cody is a machine. 81! The sad thing is, this is going to be our best match on the card. I knew this would be, but we just can't really put TNT title in the main event. 81. That's one of the best matches we've had in the series. Cody, 83. Rey Fenix, 69. And the reason why we put Phoenix with Cody is because Rey Fenix just performs so well. Really good. The Lucha Bros are great. So now, the next thing is obviously Cody wins. Pentagon Jr. tried to help out Rey Fenix, didn't work. So I think the next thing will be Cody and Brian Pillman Jr. teaming up to take on Phoenix and Pentagon, the Lucha Bros. That's a nice little way to try and get Pillman Jr. in the mix, try and utilize Cody's ability to get him over, and continue this rivalry that's obviously working pretty well. Alright, next match is FTR versus the Hybrid 2. What do we need to change? Oh yeah, Pentagon's a babyface, which I didn't understand. So we'll save the turn for another segment, but yeah, we do need to turn him heel, apparently. Jon Moxley promo on Brian Cage. Only hit 66, which is a little concerning. I would have thought Moxley could do better than that, and he has done better than that, but I suppose maybe just needs a bit more new material. 66 nonetheless. It does gain heat, so it's not a bad segment. It still ends up being good for the storyline, but I thought it maybe would do a little bit better. Anyways, FTR versus the Hybrid 2. Hard to predict this one. Tag team's always a little bit harder to predict, but I'm going to say 64. I just feel as though FTR's... Actually, thinking about it, FTR pretty good. Maybe 66. Yeah, let's go. I'm going to go big. 66. Hybrid 2 FTR. Let's see it. 64. It was close. Cash Wheeler 62. Dax 61. Jack Evans 50. And Helico 51. Now, we have been pushing Hybrid 2 a little bit, like getting them in the mix a lot more. I know they're not really utilized much in real life. So we wanted to try and make sure that they got a little bit more opportunity in our save, just because I feel as though they can deliver some good stuff. Like, they're not a bad team. So 64 is a pretty good match. Okay, MJF and Christopher Daniels is up next. So, some couple of bonuses there. And Helico and Jack Evans get the tag team specialist bonus, as does FTR. So that's good to know. So, MJF cut a promo on Daniels before their match for 67, which is great. MJF's promos are starting to get better and better, which is always, you know, we'd expect that, but it's always a plus to see it actually happening. So MJF and Christopher Daniels one-on-one. Well, MJF has had some good performances. I can't quite remember what his performances were, but I feel as though they've been pretty solid. I think he could probably hit high 60s to maybe a 70 in ring performance, and Daniels can still go. So I'm going to say, I feel like this is going to be hard to predict. I'm going to say 65 for this one. So MJF and Daniels, 73. Well, I'll be damned. 73. MJF picks up the win. Wardlow helped out as well, of course. And MJF gets a win over Daniels and has beaten every member of SCU. So he's done the clean sweep. See you later, boys. MJF 71. Daniels 57. MJF wins. They have great chemistry. Well, that'll do it. There's the performance boost. Daniels and MJF have great chemistry. Well, can we find an excuse to do a rematch maybe? That might be a good idea. But MJF picks up a nice win. Matt Hardy and Ricky Starks is up next. Good luck predicting that. Before we get there, we had a pull-apart brawl. So obviously our main event is Brian Cage and Jon Moxley. So we have to think of a reason as to why Brian Cage is going to lose. In real life, they did, the whole injury thing. They don't want him to, injure his arm again. For us, we're going to do something that will lead towards our next pay-per-view. So we're thinking about our next big show, and we're going to book Brian Cage and Lance Archer one-on-one. So we're doing a backstage segment here where Lance Archer and Jake Roberts, they kind of bump into Taz and Cage and taunt them and say, look, you've got no chance of winning tonight. Basically, saying that Archer would beat Moxley if he had the chance. Cage has no chance of doing it. And Cage, he's pretty annoyed about that, and he gets a bit of a scuffle with Lance Archer, and they're pulled apart in the locker room. So, creates a bit of a tension between the two early on and gives us a reason as to why Lance Archer might pop up later on in the show. 62 segment. So Hardy and Starks up next. I mean, Matt Hardy hasn't been going that well. Ricky Starks he's not bad, but he doesn't have much popularity, so it's hard to say. So I think this is going to be the worst match on the card. I'm going to say 52 for this one. And let's see it. I've clicked it. There we go. I thought it froze for a sec. Matt Hardy and Ricky Starks hit a 60. Well, there you go. Hard to really know because we don't really know what we're going to get from Ricky Starks. And Matt Hardy has been okay, but not brilliant. But this has probably been one of his better performances, to be honest with you. 65. Ricky Starks 34. Matt Hardy wins by DQ because Sean Spears got himself involved and attacked Matt Hardy. The crowd didn't really want to see Ricky Starks, so that's why Ricky didn't do that well. I feel like we're going to get penalized for using Ricky Starks too much on this show. I feel like it's coming. I'm not looking forward to it. But only a 9-minute match, maybe not. Post-match, Sean Spears did a beatdown on Matt Hardy to continue that storyline. So the storyline is obviously Matt Hardy believes that Ricky Starks should not be joining up with Spears and Blanchard. They're a bad influence on a young career. Forget about it. And pretty similar to what they're doing in real life with Sammy and Matt, I suppose. But, we've been doing it for a while. We just haven't booked it because we haven't streamed for a bit. But, so Sean Spears doesn't like that. And he's out to prove not only to Ricky that he's a winner and that Ricky should stick with him, but, he wants to silence Matt Hardy for talking some trash about his character. Okay, next match, Young Bucks and Private Party. This one is a steal the show match. This could either be really good or really bad. I don't know. Young Bucks in tag matches are very good. Very good. Private Party's been pretty good. I'm confident. I'm going to say 74. I'm going big. Young Bucks Private Party. Let's see it. 80. Wow. That's huge. 80 rate. I thought this match would be good, but I didn't think that good. 80 is terrific. So it still is not the best match on the card, but 80 is amazing. Well, Nick Jackson 83, Matt 82, Mark Wen 53, Isaiah 53, and there you go. So the Young Bucks tear it up with Private Party in just 12 minutes. That's all they had. 12 minutes and they delivered. Lack of psychology on display. Yeah, no shit. Young Bucks match. There's no psychology ever. So no surprise there, but overall, great match. Young Bucks win. So tonight it was a pick your poison. We had FTR pick the opponents for the Young Bucks being Private Party, and the Young Bucks picked FTR's opponents, and that was the Hybrid 2. So both the Young Bucks and FTR win, and now we start to look towards Young Bucks and FTR to go head to head in that tag match. Ali versus Hikari Sheeta is up next. Well, I did say Hardy and Starks was going to be the worst match on the card because I forgot this match was on the card. I'll be happy if this hits a 40, honestly. I will take 40. I believe in Sheeta. Ali has not been great. But to give a realistic rating, I'll go 47. Ali and Sheeta for the Women's Championship. Who needs to change gimmick? Yeah, we'll wait. Building up for 14 segments. Oof, they're ready to turn, I suppose. 51 for Ali and Sheeta. Well, not bad. That's pretty good. Sheeta 54. Ali was better. 36. That's okay. That's better than what she's been doing. I'll take that. I will. That's impressive. 51. Advancing the storyline, gaining heat. There we go. Sheeta wins. It was only an 8-minute match. Maybe it could have been better if it was longer. Maybe it was good because it was shorter. I don't know. But 51 is one of our best women's matches we've had so far. Adam Page is all alone. He has to take on the Sex Gods in a handicap match. Now, obviously, handicap matches won't get you the best ratings, but Sammy Guevara is in it, Chris Jericho is in it, Adam Page is in it. 3 great workers, good storyline heat. I feel like coming into the pay-per-view, I thought this could be the match of the card, match of the night. Am I still that confident? No. I'm gonna say 73 for this one. I feel like that's low though. I feel like that could be. I feel like you could do better than that. You know what? 77. Let's bump it up. Let's have big goals. 77 for the Sex Gods versus Adam Page for the tag titles. 80. Adam Page was the best in the match. I didn't expect that. Adam Page, 74. Sammy Guevara, 68. Chris Jericho, 72. Wow, and Jericho was off his game. Yeah, Jericho was a little bit low, wasn't he? Not a great performance from Chris. But nonetheless, the Sex Gods win. Jericho pins Adam Page, beats him 1, 2, 3 in the center of the ring. And we have ourselves new tag team champions. The Sex Gods win the tag belts. Adam Page had nobody to team up with tonight. He was all alone. Kenny Omega couldn't help him. And our next segment, 88. Wow. 88 for the next segment. Omega and Page were forced to hand over the titles. Kenny Omega is injured. He hobbles to the ring. I don't remember his injury. I'm hoping it's a leg one, so he hobbled. He hobbles to the ring with Adam Page. He was not ringside. He did not help Adam Page try and win in the handicap match. He was watching in the back. He comes to the ring and he hands over the titles to the Sex Gods. Adam Page is hurt He can barely move. He's gone through hell. And Kenny Omega hands over the titles and he's furious. He's mad at Adam Page because he lost the titles. Adam Page fought the match of his life on his own, but yet Kenny Omega is still pissed off at him because he lost the belts. He couldn't win. Well, Kenny, maybe if you didn't get injured wrestling in AAA, you might have actually been able to be helpful to Adam Page tonight. 88 for that segment is amazing. That could lead to some big popularity changes, and that sets up a big angle, obviously. Away we go. Omega and Page could be a huge match coming up in the future. Time for our main event. I feel like we are just killing it tonight. Every match is doing better than I expect. This has been a really good show. This has been an amazing show for us. But the main event, I'm still very worried about. Brian Cage has been okay. He doesn't have a lot of popularity. Moxley is up and down. I don't know. Can we do it? Can we hit something close to 80, please? Because if we do, we're going to have such a great show. Moxley and Cage. I'm not that confident. I will say 74. Honestly, I'm not confident. Fingers crossed. Let's hope our main event delivers. Let's take a look. 73. And I tell you what, it was not even Brian Cage's fault. He hit 68, which is huge for him. Moxley, just 73. Moxley was just not very good tonight. Moxley wins though after Lance Archer distracts Brian Cage and allows Moxley to win. Finally, he gets a chance to fight Brian Cage, and finally, he defends the title for the very first time. So, yeah, Moxley, I would have hoped, considering he has 75 pop, that he'd be hitting above his popularity. I would have hoped he'd be hitting 80 plus. Maybe we need to start utilizing Moxley in more of his deathmatch, hardcore style environment. Well, we knew that match was going to be a big risk, and a lot of matches were better than it. Let's hope we still had a solid show. Let's hope we had 75 plus for our overall show. Let's take a look. We had a 76 rated pay-per-view. Yes. I will take that 100%. Very, very happy with that. Our best match on the card was Cody and Rey Fenix. We had two 80 rated matches to go with that 81. Main event of 73 plus the 88 rated segment. And I gotta say, Mjf and Daniels was really good. Hybrid 2 and FTR not too bad. Starks and Hardy was a bit better than I expected. So, there was some good stuff. There really was. So we increased our popularity in 17 regions. Let's make a speech. I will give some love to Adam Page. Who else did really good? Brian Cage, I think, did pretty good considering, so I'll give him some praise. And you know what? I'm not happy with Jon Moxley. I'm gonna say, Moxley, you could have done better. Quite honestly, I'm not happy. You should have done better. Page is happy. Cage is happy. Moxley, not too worried just yet. But Moxley, seriously, a 73 in a freaking main event? You gotta be kidding me.